California for championship off-road racing, and our coverage continues all the way up until the championship. And our partner Speed will have live coverage from Pomona, California. That's Saturday, August 16th at 5 o'clock Eastern time. And our next CORR race on NBC comes to you on Sunday, September 14th at 1:30 Eastern. We just saw Carl Redezener win this afternoon's Pro 2 event. Plenty of action around the track here on Saturday. Green flag comes out for the Pro 2 trucks, and there was a lot of traffic.
Yeah, that's all taking place on the straightaway. As the green flag flew, there's Jerry Welchel in the one truck.
And Jeremy McGrath chasing him.
He had a good start. Jerry Welchel did.
Yes, he did.
But there was a lot of action yesterday.
Now there's Redezener trying to work his way through traffic. A little contact there. Jerry makes the save. Carl gets the lead. Jerry tries to get the lead back.
I think he was trying to get to the fender of Carl Redezener personally.
Oh, you're just trying to stir it up. Carl got the win. And then a fantastic race for the Pro Light trucks. And these trucks are a little lighter, a little under 3,000 pounds, and about 300 horsepower.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of guys, there's a lot of drivers driving in this series now. We've seen it grow just a short time we've been here. The fields have been very strong, very competitive.
You saw the 3-wide race for the lead there.
And these trucks, you got to carry momentum a lot more. They don't have the big 800-900 horsepower, so you really got to carry your speed.
Robert Naughton got the win after capturing the pole, then getting inverted to the 8th starting spot.
Watch Barlow.
Yep.
Yee-haw! And let me tell you something, folks. That hurts, and I'm speaking from experience.
I wish we had video of that. And as you watch some of this action, there's Josh Baldwin from yesterday's Pro 4 race. That's on board with Kurt LeDuc, one of the all-time greats in championship off-road racing. Had a tough day here on Saturday. Adrian Cheney and Jerry Doherty. And this is some of the activity that led to the discussion by Jim Baldwin this morning that there could be some points and some financial penalties later this week. Scott Douglas, Kyle LeDuc.
A lot of bicycling. That's what we call the bicycle.
Josh Baldwin up and over. That's Devil's Leap. Johnny Greaves trying to chase down Carl Redezener. Scott Douglas in that 7 truck. He'll be in the Pro 4 race later this afternoon. And watch this. This is Tim Herbst. This was a brand new truck when it got here on Thursday. It's been upside down twice and in the fence once. And that was even after the race. It was won by Carl Redezener. So he swept on Saturday in the Pro 2 and the Pro 4s. And he's looking to repeat that here this afternoon after winning the Pro 2 event. And getting back to Barlow, I talked to Steve a few minutes ago or earlier today, and he said he's a little sore. He's going to go to the doctor tomorrow for x-rays to see if he has any cracked ribs.
Well, you got a race today.
He didn't want
to
know
go to
today.
the doctor today.
There are the Pro 4 point standings. Check in with Marty Snyder.
Well, Bill, the CORR tempers are a little testy these days. A couple of weeks ago, it was the LeDuc family and Steve Barlow. Yesterday, it was Carl Redezener and Jerry Welchel. The one thing that stays the same, though, while the names change, the tempers in CORR will always flare, and contact is expected.
Like I've always said, RJ and Welchel and I, we're all the same. We just want wins.
Todd and I are fine. I mean, I raced really clean with Todd. Bottom line with Kurt, he's passionate, he wants to do well. All these guys going in for one position, it's going to happen. Do I feel that it's getting a little out of hand? Just a touch.
At the drivers' meeting, they talked to us about settling down, and I think it's in CORR's court because it's a black flag this year. They haven't used it enough, and they've created a situation where the drivers are going to push the limit.
Was trying to make it clean until that last turn where Scott got Kurt, and I had nowhere to go. I had to go through him.
If he drives by our pit, he's going to see the Makita tools flying over the wall at him.
It's a racing incident. He was sideways exiting the corner, and if there was 10 laps to go, I would have given up, let him go, because I still had racing to go. I have 100 yards to the finish line.
Some days you're going to get hit, some days they're going to hit you. Let it go. If you want to do something else where you're in a bubble and no one can touch you, get out of championship off-road racing.
And I talked to Steve Barlow moments ago, and he said he's honestly a little worried about the possibility of retaliation, but he knows the officials are watching. As we talked earlier, they mentioned that in the drivers' meeting today. The black flag could be displayed. Bill.
Thanks, Marty. The Pro 4 trucks are on the track. For more than a few drivers, the 2008 report card at the halfway mark shows an A for effort, but it also says does not play well with others. We'll see how they play today. Before heading to Beijing, just up the road, it's the ADP Crocs Bud Light Open, and it's next on NBC. Pro 4 trucks about half a lap from going green here in Chula Vista, and here is the starting grid. The top 4 positions were inverted. That puts Johnny Greaves on the front row with Rick Huseman. Scott Douglas starts third, next to the fastest guy in qualifying, Carl Rennicenter. It's an 0.8 of a mile track. A lot of elevation changes. You got Thrill Hill, you got the Devil's Leap. You're really busy in these trucks.
Yeah, they didn't grade the track in between the Pro 2 and the Pro 4, so those ruts are still out there. Now, these guys with the 4-wheel drive, don't forget these are Pro 4s. That means they're 4-wheel drive, same horsepower, over, in the 900 horsepower area, but they're going to get a lot better bite. So you're going to see them working the track in a lot of different areas.
Take a look at the onboards. That's onboard with Carl Rennicenter.
I'm not sure where that is.
I'm not sure that's going to be there at the end of the race either. There's Rick Huseman. Fab Tech ride for Rick.
This would be a good shot to see what these guys go through. And they're taking a lap around here.
And there's Scott Douglas.
Scott's truck looked really good yesterday. From when I was watching, he was flying.
One of the most accomplished off-road racers in the history of the sport. Getting ready to go green here, live at Chula Vista. Kevin and Kathy Mayoris are in timing and scoring. Scott Lewis and Rob McDonald are in the flag stand. Tony Vanello is up here with us. He's the competition director in control of the field. 14 laps for the stars of Pro 4 live on NBC.
It's a little bit crowded up there, but Johnny Greaves comes out on top. Huseman taking a look down on the bottom.
2 trucks at the back of the field had contact. They're parked at the top of Thrill Hill as we watch the leaders make a left-hander and head for Devil's Leap.
Scott Douglas in that 7 Amsoil truck takes second spot.
Johnny Greaves in the Monster Energy number 4. Huseman in the Fab Tech. There's Rennicenter going for 4 wins over the weekend. Driving that number 1 truck. Different number in the Pro 4s. Greaves leads. Here comes Douglas, that number 7 truck. Amsoil Kumho sponsorship for him. Then the Fab Tech ride for Huseman. Douglas for the lead.
Oh, got a safety truck. That could be in the way a little bit.
That was a local waving caution.
Yeah, and this next corner up here, this next left-hander, we've got somebody turned around backwards. We got a safety truck trying to pull him out.
So you can race to the local cautions, but not through them. So it's single file through here, and once you clear the waving yellows, you can go back to racing. And here comes Douglas after Greaves as they head for Devil's Leap. There's Scott.
5 back.
Rick Huseman in the 3. Kelly?
Well, Scott Douglas's Amsoil truck has been fast all season. He told me this weekend, though, they're having some issues with the brakes. He said we're a little bit stumped by it because we can't quite figure out the issue, but he has to push down on the brake pedal a lot harder than usual. He said in qualifying he got progressively faster, but he said it could take him a couple laps to get comfortable with it again. Marty?
Imagine the frustration of Johnny Greaves. He didn't even take 1 lap in the Pro 2 race just moments. Pulled behind the wall. He wouldn't even talk to his crew members. He was so upset. He's driving with a little extra motivation, trying to keep this 4 truck out front.
Driving angry, Marty. It works.
Through the local waving caution, then the racing resumes.
That's Kurt LeDuc, by the way, that was being towed.
Difficult weekend for the 53-year-old veteran driver, Kurt LeDuc. Josh Baldwin in the Bully Dog 86. Josh in the 5th position. Trying to close up on Rennicenter. Greaves leads him off of turn 7 and down the front stretch.
To mention, too, Barlow, who started in the 14th position, is now up to 6th in that 2 truck, Red Bull Ford.
And that's the truck we showed you that got a little air time yesterday. Not the kind he would like. Right at the start of the Pro 4 race. That's first, second, and third. How about Barlow, Marty?
Well, and imagine the work that went into that truck, almost as much as went into fixing Wally's truck, all the parts we saw earlier, guys. But really, his crew stayed till 3 a.m. this morning. They were back here at 7 a.m. this morning. They worked very hard. They had to completely replace the front and rear suspension on that Red Bull truck. Got it back out there, and the fact that he's gaining spots is a real testament to how hard this crew has worked. He just gained another one right here.
Barlow in that 2 Red Bull ride. Battling with LeDuc and the Rockstar Energy machine.
Clear, go, 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 go.
Does that help you? Go, 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 go.
No, not really. We're pretty much trying to go as much as we can already.
Again, Barlow's the one we told you about. He said he's a little sore today. Go for x-rays tomorrow, see if he's got any cracked ribs. Johnny Greaves, tremendous success in off-road racing. 3-time Pro 4 champion. He's the race leader. Douglas is behind him. Huseman runs in the 3rd position, and Kelly has an update.
Well, Rick Huseman in that Fab-Tech machine has won twice already this season, but he has just had terrible luck in the past year at Chula Vista. Yesterday, he was running strong. He biked it in turn 6, ended up in the hot pits. Obviously, that cost him. But he entered the weekend first in points, and just to show you how close this is, he's already back down to 3rd after yesterday, Phil.
There you see the onboard shot.
Yeah, great shot. There's Rick going through turn 1 right now, headed to turn 2. Got one hand on the steering wheel, one hand on the shifter. Very, very busy driving these trucks, obviously. We just see how busy you are. And it looks like you're just getting the heck beat out of you. And you are to a point, but actually it's not as bad as a ride as you would think. I know it's hard to believe me looking at that shot.
Well, it's all Wally's world. I'm not sure I want to believe
but
that.
It is so much fun driving these things.
Huseman holding off one of the best in Rent-A-Center. And remember, there are no mirrors in these trucks. You have to rely on your spotter and your instinct. Huseman got wins at Primm and Pomona, the 2 victories Kelly was talking about, but 7th here yesterday. There's Rent-A-Center, who got the win yesterday and is the point leader in the series, but everybody right now chasing that Monster Energy Potawatomi Toyota of Johnny Greaves. Not exactly the line he was looking for.
No,
there.
but, you know, I tell you, Johnny Greaves, he's so good in these Pro 4s. He's just so much fun to watch. He just gets it done.
At 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Scott Douglas in 2nd. The blue number 3, the yellow numeral. That's Huseman, and then CORR Rent-A-Center right behind him. The slide job off of Devil's Lead. Oh, Rent-A-Center climbs the wall.
Hold on, push it back. No pressure behind you. Spun out a little bit. 4 or 5.
That is gonna cost him.
So local caution, and now the competition caution is out. The competition caution is out. Comes out at about the halfway mark of the race.
Hey, what, that competition cost him just saved him.
It sure did. Going to keep him on the lead lap if they get him off that wall in time.
If he doesn't have a oil pan leaning on that concrete barrier or something.
Hey, he won on 3 tires earlier.
Yeah,
what more do you want? Had 2 victories Saturday here at Chula Vista in the Pro 2 and the Pro 4. And won the earlier Pro 2 this afternoon here. But right now, he's a spectator, not a participant. Huseman in the 3. Carl trying to make the move. A little bit of contact. Look out, everybody. I think we had a camera down there somewhere. Oh, here it is. Up close and personal. Championship off-road racing on NBC. Somebody call tow truck.
Geico Power Sports. Insurance for your car.
See race family at the Quarry. We like to call it the Q at Chula Vista. less than 1 lap away from going back to green for the Pro 4 Series, and some guys are not very happy right about now.
Well, Huseman had already he was already losing it before Rennezener was even in the picture. So all Rick was doing was trying to save his truck, and then Rennezener came in there, and yes, he did get hit by Rick, but that was far from intentional.
There's the contact. Carl climbs the wall, and he is currently scored in the 11th position. There are the bonus points for leading at the competition caution. 6 for Greaves, 3 for Douglas, 1 for Huseman, who was third. Let's get some stories from down below. Marty, have you been eavesdropping on race drivers again?
I have been, and this is continuing, I might add, from Carl Rennezener. He is very, very much upset with Rick Huseman. He doesn't feel, though, as though it was intentional. He's never said that, but he did say that he just doesn't know how he hit him or why he hit him where he did. He is quite upset, but I think we've seen Carl come from the back to the front before a few times. I know he can do it. Question is, does he have enough time, Kelly?
And not only that, but now he's got points to think about. We're just at that halfway point in the season. Some of these guys, you know, have to calculate what risks are worth taking at this point. Obviously, Carl has nothing left to lose. And I also wanted to point out, you know, all these guys can point to another driver and talk about, you know, rough driving and being aggressive. I've never heard anyone talk that way about Rick Huseman. He's actually known as one of the cleaner drivers out there on the track.
Thanks, Kelly. And we'll see how this all unfolds. 14-lap race. Coming back to the green for the restart. It's Greaves, Scott Douglas, Rick Huseman, Kyle LeDuc, and Troy Herbst in the 5th position. Then Barlow is 6th, Tim Herbst is 7th, Jenkins is 8th, Point is 9th, and Ed Herbst is 10th. Carl Rennezener, who has already won 3 times this weekend, restarts in the 11th position. Be 5 laps to go. When they get the green flag, the field out of turn 7. Greaves is the leader. The green is waving.
Greaves got a great restart. The last thing Johnny wanted to see was Douglas on the inside of him going through turn 1, so he got a great start.
Huseman trying to get that 2nd spot. On board with Douglas, looking back at Huseman. And Kyle LeDuc right there as well. Been a good season for Scott Douglas. 7 races this year. In 6 of them, he has finished 3rd or better, but has not yet been to victory lane. That's Huseman in the 3. Scott Douglas in that number 7, Amsoil Kumo truck.
Huseman just seems like he's having a little bit of trouble on that right-hander after the Devil's Leap.
Down the front stretch, they head for Thrill Hill, and we check with Marty.
And Bill, you talked about what a wonderful season this has been for Scott Douglas. He has never won a CORR championship, has won many other off-road championships, but never in CORR. He told me on Friday, it's too early to start thinking championship. We're just halfway through, but I also can't be ultra aggressive. I have to keep podium every weekend. If I can do that, I can win this championship. I'm not worried about getting that win. If I finish top 3, I'm okay with that.
This is race number 8 of a 15-race season. As they run right now, Douglas unofficially could have the points lead. Looking back at Huseman trying to move on the inside.
Keep it tight. Nice job.
Boy, meanwhile, Greaves really trying to pull away here.
Yeah, these guys are racing each other pretty hard right now, which is letting Johnny Greaves have all the track to himself. Where these two guys, when they're a couple times, they're side by side through the corner, so they're having to take different lines, and it's slowing them down just a little bit.
Scott Douglas came in 2nd in the championship standings, 14 points out of 1st. Unofficially right now, he would be 6 points in front. And we still got more than 2 laps to go on this 0.8 of a mile track. Oh, wild ride.
Got one on its head. Jenkins in the 47 truck.
Mike Jenkins came in here off of 4 straight top 10 finishes. Started in the 15th spot. Boy, he's in a tough spot, too, right there. Greaves works his way out of 7. They check on Jenkins. 2 laps to go. And again, you have to go back to the point Marty brought out. Johnny Greaves is running a Pro 2 and a Pro 4. Huseman's going to go around.
Sure does. Little contact between him and Douglas.
And we've gone to a full course yellow.
Yeah, we've got a LeDuc down here in the last corner that also has some trouble. So, boy, it seems like all the LeDucs have been having some bad luck today or this weekend.
So a full course yellow. You see him working past Jenkins' truck. That's in turn 3. Wow, and there's Kyle LeDuc. And he's going to get a tow. Okay, let's check out what happened to Jenkins first.
I think he just hooked a rut.
Boy, right in front of Renacenter. Another look.
Yeah, he just hooked a rut.
And it grabs your...
Like I said, it's like sliding across railroad tracks sideways in your car. If you're gonna, it just all of a sudden, when it catches you, boy, it's fast.
This was the battle for second. Scott Douglas in the 7, Rick Huseman in the 3. Fab Tech truck goes around.
Actually, that full course yellow, that helped Huseman too there.
It sure did.
Because he pulls right up behind Douglas. Do you got something on Kyle, Marty?
Yeah, Wally, that was the LeDuc you were referring to in this last turn here before the front stretch. He actually missed the hot pitch, realized he had a flat tire, had to pull off for a moment, so that was the guy who was off the track. He was running in the top 5, another great run for him, but it will end up short this afternoon.
Thanks, Marty, and he climbs out. Going to reset the field, stay under caution. We'll come back for the finish of the Pro 4 division. You're watching Championship Off-Road Racing live on NBC.
And I think once people get to the race and see it in person, they're not going to be able to put enough grandstands in these places.
And that's not just here. That's everywhere for Championship Off-Road Racing. Barlow runs in the 5th position. It's a blast. This really is fun.
It is. It's so much fun. We've had such a great time. I've had double the fun because I get to go out there and play a little bit. And it is. And anybody that's come to these races, you bring them to the first time. Once they come, it's like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. You hook the fans when they come.
So we're being told now there will be a 2-lap shootout, a green-white checkered finish. So when they come by next time, they'll get the green flag, then the white flag, then the checkered flag for a green-white finish. Check with Kelly Stavison, the race leader.
Bill, as you know, this is the first season that Johnny Greaves has been competing in both Pro 2 and Pro 4, and they put together that Pro 2 program really late, and there was some concern that that cost them, even in the Pro 4, just trying to pull double duty like that. But when you also talk to him, he says, you know, I always get off to a slow start at the beginning of the season, and yesterday he said, this is about the time when I'm going to get my mojo working.
Started with a 2nd and 5th place at Pomona, then 1 at Prim. But in 2 of the last 4 races, he has finished 14th. Got a 2nd place yesterday. Looking at a green flag, white flag, checkered flag finish. 2 laps of racing. And when you bottle these guys up and unleash them for 2 laps to determine the winner, anything can happen.
And Douglas has got to get a good start. He's got to get beside Johnny Greaves in turn 1 to have a shot at this thing.
2 to go. Huseman on the march.
Huseman gets a good run down on the inside in that 3 truck. Can he get the grip?
Boy, and Troy Herbst is right there in the 19 as well. Lost a little bit right there. And then Barlow behind him.
And then Renacenter behind him in the 1 truck. Oh, a bicycle job up top. That was Troy, I believe. Troy Herbst.
Johnny Greaves is parked at the top of the track. And Scott Douglas is the race leader. There's Greaves. A lap and a half to go. Barlow fighting for position inside of Renacenter. They come to the white flag. Out of turn 7, Scott Douglas has the lead and the white flag.
Pull on back.
Douglas, the race leader. Huseman trying to chase him down. Renacenter battling Barlow for 3rd. They're side by side.
Renacenter gets a spot.
Boy, Douglas has stretched it out. That's first and second. We'll go back and check on what happened to Greaves, but let's watch the leaders head for the checkers. Over Devil's Leap one more time. Right-hander here, very tricky. Got to get through 6 and 7. Scott Douglas, third, second, third, and third in his last 4 races, looking for his first win of 2008. One of the most accomplished off-road racers in the country. Scott Douglas wins at Chula Vista.
Nice job, everybody. First win for the season. Great job. Great job.
Pretty good.
Told you never know what's going to happen.
I tell you, I watched him yesterday. His truck looked awfully good.
This is going to be some kind of celebration for Scott Douglas. He's headed for victory lane, and we're going to take you there next. Scott Douglas wins the Pro 4 race here at Chula Vista. It looked like it was going to be Johnny Greaves' day, but couldn't make the left-hander. We'll check that out and celebrate with Douglas when we come back live on NBC.
Experience the power, the intensity.
Championship Off-Road Racing live on NBC is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics, and by Toyota, moving forward. Our beautiful aerial views provided by KMC Wheels, and our thanks to them. And what a day here at Chula Vista. Take a look at the results from the Pro 4 race this afternoon. Scott Douglas gets win number 1. Huseman comes home second. Renacenter is third, and Douglas and Renacenter unofficially now tied for the championship lead. To victory lane and Marty Snyder.
And Bill, what a run for Scott Douglas today. A terrific pass there at the end. His crew so excited for him to get out of the truck. And the fans here at Chula Vista celebrate with him. Crew can come on in here, guys. High fives around. Hey, Scott, tell me about that pass there, and his crew chief, Bill Smith. Tell me about that pass there at the end of the race.
Yeah, I tell you, the AMSOIL Kumho F-150 was just hooked up good. We were trying to save the tires. We ran a real soft Kumho compound. And I tell you, we were just stalking Johnny and waiting for the right moment. He went way wide into a berm and then got crossed up, went up top, and I got underneath him, and I was battling with Huseman too, but it was excellent. It was just awesome. I can't say enough about this AMSOIL Kumho F-150.
You told me Friday you weren't worried about getting that first win, but I bet you're glad it's in the bank now.
Oh, yeah, I feel good, because just like I told you, I think when they come, they're going to start coming big. So hopefully this is the first of many. But what's this, 7 out of 8 podiums now? I mean, this team did just such a fabulous job, led by Bill Smith and Jason Scompers and all the guys. It's just and the support of AMSOIL and Ford and everything. I'm just ecstatic. It's awesome to get this first win out of the way.
A lot of podiums, but finally a win this year for Scott Douglas. Kelly?
Here, Johnny Greaves, in a day that started out looking so promising, obviously ending in disappointment. What happened out there, Johnny?
Just that, after that last restart, threw it into that turn and must have pitched a belt on the steering or something, because couldn't make the turn. The steering was just, it didn't have power steering. You can't drive these things without power steering. So I just did my best to get out of the way. Douglas finally got one. Good for him. Got it handed to him on a silver platter, but hey, we have days like this.
All right, obviously a disappointed Johnny Greaves, Bill.
Finished 9th and falls to 4th in points, but just 36 out of the lead. That is a tie at the top for Douglas and Renacenter. Good stuff.
It's great stuff, and it's great for Scott. I mean, Johnny, it's very disappointing. You can tell something broke in the steering, especially to lead the race like that the whole way. But it's always good to see a guy win, the first time for, this year.
So I'll see you at Pomona, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, don't miss our next championship off-road racing event on NBC on September 14th. Coming up next, we'll send you up the coast to Long Beach for beach volleyball. Misty May trainer Kerry Walsh